look at those and study them carefully on your own, in addition to the stuff already I'm doing right now. So really to go back to our play. Now, as I told you, there are a lot of occasions and situations where we really feel sorry and absolutely, amazed by the ways in which our friend, being treated, as I think I read some of those passages to you last time. Yeah, and the question, as I said, of really romanticism and especially this really sad melodramatic elements may be instigated or maybe caused by Victor's singing and all this to some extent. And as I said, there were some moments when really we think that maybe there is an indirect, funny sort of relationship, or at least never admitted or hidden sort of, or tacit, what we call tacit, love relationship, but it was never really concretized, especially when she was saying and admitting what she was saying to that old woman about her feelings towards Victor. But anyway, as we say, there is no real nothing evidence that there is any funny relationship with them. Now, in the second act, in Act 2, as you can see, we have more characters, boiling to the same really, situation and attitude, which is, of course, as I said, the gossip and the carry on, which really pushed Yerma to think all the time about her problem and about her physical, social, well, mainly really social, physical, psychological, really problem upon which, or with which she's always, suffering and living, that she wants a baby. Despite the fact about society and all this thing, the whole attitude towards marriage for her, the whole concept of marriage for her, the whole really idea, to some extent for many of us, really, this is something really honorable and good, and as we know, could be really acceptable and as I say, honorable. Yeah, people get married and they want children. I mean, what's wrong with that? And even sometimes we feel that there are many people who think that, the question of love and the question of passion, will come later, because, here, that's what she said. She said, my father married me to him, throw him or throw me at him, and something like similar to that. But yeah, I mean, that's not saying if really Juan behaved like any honorable man, his wife, I'm sure his wife will really love him more and will take great care of him more than anything else. Of course, we understand her situation, and I forgive her myself about whatever she really felt to some extent. I'm not saying I agree with her that she killed him. No, she should not. But as I said, she killed him out of absolute sheer, anger and sheer crazy, mad moment when her mind really snapped, when he accused her of her honor and so on. So here in this next act, you can see these women, again, this first washerwoman, second washerwoman, fourth washerwoman, fifth, sixth, etc., etc. Really, they are gossiping about her. Just that. Really, they are gossiping about her and because that's the normal thing about society, because people talk. You know, the question is that the people talk. Yeah. And really, this is the idea here, that her husband, Juan, is saying to her, saying, stop or don't talk to maybe to people on the road, because people talk. And maybe, yeah, we understand him. Maybe we understand him and the way he thinks and so on. Yeah, of course. But you see, when she is, we know that she is absolutely innocent about all this carry on, what he is, you know, saying. Anyway, really, I'm not going to read all this, you know, the ways in which they are talking here. Most of the talk here is just normal kind of talk, and you know, like really, it's a women's talk, as we say, women's talk, and nothing really, if you like, you know, important. Here you can see why these people, they're washerwomen. These women were washing near this little spring or this little river, when everybody here in these days, in the old days, I think I remember in our village, we used to do that. Wallahi, this is really lovely. You know, I don't know if you ever here in the old days when there was no electricity or nothing, people used to go to the river and they do the washing. You know, they boil water and they make water hot water, and you know they give their children all this washing. Really, it's amazing. But yeah, but this is true. I honestly, I remember this, and there are people in some societies, there are people who still do that. They take their kids and they do all this washing near a river or near a spring. As I said, in the old traditional fashion, when there was no electricity or anything. I don't know. I mean, maybe it's maybe some villagers here in this country do the same. I don't know, but I think this happened in all village societies, in all villages, everywhere in the world. They do that. And here you can see this first washer, second, third, fourth, etc. You know, the stress here, washerwoman, and so on. You know, it's the spontaneous, natural, lovely atmosphere where these villagers go and live, and you know, it's really lovely. I want you to read that and to feel how they do things here. Notice here, they murmur. Yerma, two sisters-in-law appear. Two sisters-in-law appear. They are dressed in black. They begin their washing in silence. A sound of sheep bells. Are the shepherd off already? First washerwoman. Yes, all the flocks will be moved today. Fourth washerwoman, breathing deep. I love the smell of sheep. You do? And why not? They smell of what? Ours, just as I like the smell of red mud that the river carries in winter. Fancy? Yeah. I know people here, maybe some people, I'm sure some of you are villagers, and I think we understand what they are saying. Yeah, if you live in a village and you have you know, sheep like this, or goats or animals at home, and your family, you have a lot of for example, sheep and camels or cows or whatever, you like them because your life, your whole life, you know, depends on them. And that's why she said, I love the smell of sheep. I believe her. Like what she said, the smell of red mud. Yeah. Do you understand? Hello?
Yes, doctor.
Are you there? I know it's Ramadan and you are not in the mood. You're not in the mood. Yeah, I understand. really the situation here is quite interesting to think about and to see and to realize how much, this atmosphere, and even I'm saying here the idea that this woman here really lead the idea about about Juan and his wife and his sisters, and to relating to Victor. Again, fifth washerwoman gazing. The flocks are mingling together. Fourth washerwoman. It's a woolen flood, sweeping everything before it. If the green wheat had eyes, it would tremble to see them coming. See how they run. And here, Victor singing again. The sister-in-law sit up and look at one another, quite singing. Yeah, again here, remember the two sisters-in-law, Yerma's sisters-in-law came, as I said, well, not came, but they were brought by their brother to watch over his wife, over Yerma. And when they heard Victor singing, they say, now the trouble arrives, because they think there is a funny relationship between Victor and Yerma. And notice here he's singing. This is really lovely. Victor as a shepherd is an easy-going man, always singing, always happy. He is not miserable, never miserable. He's always happy and always forward. I will wash your fine ribbons in the chill water, like glowing jasmine, you are filled with laughter. I would like to live in the jasmine white snowfall. Yeah, look at the romanticism of Victor, really. It's really a lovely way to see Victor's all the importance and the value and the function of his singing, or of his songs, or of his poetry. The songs that he's always singing, they have so many meanings and so many implications and so many, reverberations. Really, they waves and waves and waves of meanings going in all directions towards, of course, his own situation, his maybe deep side, inside feeling that he wants to get married because he's a young man, young shepherd who is in love with life. At the moment, we really don't know. We have no idea whether he loves anybody. But of course, as I said, as a normal sort of young man who's in love with life, So the idea, as I told you last time, to think about that after Yerma, I'm sure if we write another act or another scene in this play, maybe we will make this match. We will make them to get married, Victor and Yerma, because he maybe deeply is maybe he loves her, and she said her body trembles only for Victor once when he held her, and so on. So you can see the hidden kind of thing. And really, the writer here is touching on this subconscious, unconscious really question here. Should we dive deep and deep into our psyche to purify our minds? It's impossible. You can't control the subconsciousness of anybody. Nobody can control somebody's subconsciousness. And here, if there is any love in Yerma, it's in her subconscious. Really, it's in her absolutely hidden, buried subconscious, which would never come alive. Maybe now after her husband is dead. Yeah, maybe. And really, this is the question here about the matchmaking between Victor and her. As I'm saying here, to drive the question of subconsciousness into the light or into light, then we can say that. And that's why he said, I will wash your fine ribbons in the chill water. When he's saying you're who? You know, he's talking about his sheep. Is he talking about, he's talking to his sheep or to who, you know? Like glowing jasmine, you are filled with laughter. I would like to live in the jasmine's white snowfall. Notice. And here immediately the people started to talk about Yerma. Immediately after this, the first washerwoman. But alas, for a wife's barrenness. Alas, for the one with sand at her breast. Sand? What a shame. And here, you know, the gossip goes on and on and on. That Yerma is a barren, is a barren woman. You know, he said, you know, you can see sand at her breast, meaning like a dead desert. A dead desert. You know, sometimes I feel sad here. I say this to myself, you know. I've been waiting now for nearly 5 months or 6 months. I think about 6 months. It never rained here in Al Khod area, and I feel sad that, yeah, nearly 5 or even 6 months it did not rain. Yeah. You see what I mean? It's a shame. Anyway, so the idea here, the way they describe her, is really funny and very sad to say this. And please read all this, because I can't read it all for you. As I told you, I want to move on, because all these people, you know, here. Again, you know, the way they speak, really, the way they speak, again, about look how they always come back about the idea of having a baby or being pregnant. Notice here on this fifth washerwoman, happiness of the swelling belly beneath the dress. You know, this is really funny, but yeah, because you say again here, happiness of the swelling belly beneath the dress. But alas for a wife's barrenness, alas for the one with sand at her breast. Let her shine, let her ride, let her shine out once more, let her sing, let her hide. Let her sing as before, oh, the dawn that my child brings in its clean Teyanofo. Yeah, I mean, of course, all this, you know, it's a shame. You know, they're talking about the feeling, as I said, about having a child or having a baby. And here in Act 2, the same thing. And here, Juan, you know, we see Juan coming, and we have more discussion between them. You really hear another attempt to say that Juan is not doing his job. Juan is wasting his time, always going to the fields. And here, you know, you know, the narrator here, as you can see, or not narrator, sorry, I'm saying the dialogue between Yerma and her husband about their way of life. Notice, every woman hers. I'm asking you to stay. I have everything I need here. Your sisters look after me well. I eat roast lamb, soft bread, and cheese here. And on the hillsides, your cattle eat grass drenched with the dew. I have brought you I have brought you, I have thought you would be able to live peacefully. To live peacefully, one must be tranquil. You see, as I said here, really one example of dialogue of total disagreement or misunderstanding. Juan is not, he's funny, he's strange, he's weird. Really, he's weird. His mind, his mentality he is weird. He's talking about tranquil. She's saying to him, come on, you have everything. What do you want? You know? She said, you have everything. What do you want? And he said, tranquil. And are you not? No, I'm not. Don't say it. You know what I think. The you in the fold and the woman at home, you go out too much. Haven't I always said so? Allah, 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 Allah. Yeah. You know, so he's accusing her, you're going out too much. You are going out too much. That's right. That is right. A woman in her home, when that home is not a tomb. That's right. A woman in her home, when that home is not a tomb, when the chairs and the linen sheets wear out with use, but not here. You know, she's right. Notice, here she said, I live on my own. Every night, every day, I go to my bed on my own. I live alone, you know. She said, notice, every night, every day, I go to bed, the bed seems newer, gleaming as if it had been brought from town. Juan, you yourself know I have a right to complain, that I have reason to be careful. Careful about what? I have offended nothing. I live obediently, and what I suffer I keep close to my chest, and every day that passes is worse. Let us be silent. I will learn to bear my cross as best I can, but don't ask for anything more. If I suddenly turned into an old woman with a mouth like a withered flower, I might be able to smile and share my life with you more easily. Now leave me alone with my thorns. Yeah. Do you think she's exaggerating? Anyway, here really, he is not, as I said, he's not really interested in what she's saying at all. And he can't understand her in any way. You know, and here, Juan, there's such a thing as family honor, and honor is a burden we all must bear. The sister with the picture leaves slowly, but it can run dark or pale in the one set of veins. The other sister leaves with a platter in a ceremonial manner. Forgive me, Yerma looks at her husband. He raises his hand and his gaze meets hers. Even though you look at me in such a way that I shouldn't ask forgiveness, but once more, but force you to obey me. Force you to obey me, lock you up, since that's what a husband should do. Lock you up, imprison. Husbands should imprison their wives. Well. Notice the two sisters again. Notice, and here Yerma, really, she gave us a lovely speech here about, what she feels. Yerma, I beg you not to talk this way. Let the matter rest. Let's go and eat. The two sisters go inside. Did you hear me? Yerma, eat with your sisters. I'm not hungry yet. Khwan, as you wish. He goes inside. And Yerma really gave us a lovely speech here. A lovely speech. Hey, what a field of stones. Hey, what a door closed to beauty. To ask for a son to suffer while the breeze offers flowers of the slumbering moon. These two springs of warm milk I have in the courts of my flesh are twin beats of a horse's hooves to shake the branch of my anguish. Hey, blind breasts under my dress. Hey, doves without sight or whiteness. Hey, what grave of the captive blood goes nailing wasps stings on my neck. But you must come, my love, my child, because water gives salt and earth fruit, and our wombs hold tender children as the clouds are filled with sweet rain. She goes towards the doorway. Maria, why are you rushing past the door like that? Yeah. And Maria said, I hurry past when I have the child. You always weep. You are right. She takes the child and sits down. It makes me sad that you are not envious. And again, really here we have a lovely speech between Maria and a lovely dialogue between Maria and Yerma. Again, I don't have time to read all that for you, boys and girls. I will maybe just go on to highlight the main points here towards the end of this, because you can see the lovely dialogue. And in Act 3, poor Yerma, in Act 3, really, she became desperate and she wanted to have a baby, and she was thinking of trying this magic thing, this magic or black magic or something, or like magic, I don't know, because sometimes people, when they go crazy about things like that. So here really Yerma is trying to find ways of finding a solution to be pregnant. And she's going here to this woman Dolores. Here we have a wise woman in this Act 3, the house of Dolores, the wise woman. It's daybreak. Yerma and Dolores enter with two old women. Remember here, as I said, Yerma is trying ways and ways of, finding a solution. Could be, as we say, could be like, magic solutions, or maybe like what we call totem, or maybe something like, something like talisman, or something like this, sorcery or magic or black magic, or, these maybe rituals, which sometimes some of them really are funny. And here really Yerma is trying to find a way to find that. Notice Dolores and Yerma speaking here at the beginning. Notice Dolores said, I'm not, may my mouth fill with ants like the mouth of the dead if I lied to you. The last time I prayed with a beggar woman who had been barren longer than you, and her womb became so beautifully fertile that she gave birth to 2 children down by the river, because she did not have time to reach the village, and she brought them to me herself in a cloth for me to look after. I'm saying here, of course, Dolores, here the example I'm saying that Yerma is, to some extent, as I said, she's looking for a solution. Even this solution implies magic. She is ready to do it because she wants a child. And as we know, she is, well, I mean, we understand. Maybe she went maybe too far, but people behave like that. Notice here she said, of course, why would anything happen? She simply picked up the infants and washed them in running water. Animals lick them clean, don't they? My own son couldn't disgust me. Here you can feel as if Yerma really, the way she speaks is fantastic. The way she is describing, how she feels if, she's cleaning her own child. Well, of course, we know it's her own motherhood, if you like, the feeling of being a mother. Yeah, so, of course, here, maybe we shall see later on, even she, if you like, let me see. And here Juan appeared when notice here, Dolores, who is it? A voice. It's I. Open the door. Dolores is reluctant. Will you open it? Whispering is heard. Juan appears with the 2 sisters. Here she is. Here I am. Why are you here? If I could, I would shout and wake the whole village, so they could see how the honor of my house has gone astray. But I have to swallow everything and be silent because you are my wife. Oh, really? He has to swallow. Yerma, if I could, I would shout too, so even the dead would wake and testify to my innocence. Yeah, I love that. I mean, you could see, of course, how much really, of course. Juan, no, that's not true. I can't bear anything but lies. You deceive me, you trick me, and because I am a man who labors in the fields, my mind is not a clever enough match for yours. Yeah. So you see, he started really here to abuse her and to say, you are, giving me bad names and so on. But, poor Yerma, she did nothing. And she was saying to him, be quiet. And I won't take any more, because you would have been made of steel to tolerate a woman who wants to stab her nails into your heart, and who leaves her house at night looking for what? Tell me, looking for what? The streets are full of men. There are no flowers to put there. Oh. Yerma, of course, getting angry and angry. I won't allow you to say another word, not a single word. She's really being tough here. She said, come on, quiet, shut up. You think you and your family are the only ones who care for honor And you don't understand that my family have never needed to hide anything. Come here and smell my clothes. Come closer. See if you can find an odor that is not yours, that's not come from your body. Set me naked in the midst of the square and spit on me. Do what you want with me, since I'm your wife, but take care not to pin any other man's name on my breast. Wow. Yeah, I think this is a lovely speech. Absolutely. So here he's accusing her of her honor. She said, come on, man, you crazy. Smell my body, she said. Smell my body. It's your smell. You are my husband. And, you know, she said, you can spit and strip me naked. Come on, this is really too much. And she said, I will never tolerate you to say all this. Juan, it's not I who pins it there. You do it by your own conduct. And everyone's starting to say it. They are beginning to say it loud. When I meet a group of men, anyway, he started to tell her all this, and she was really mad to him at the end. Notice, I think I have time to read all this for you. Yeah, it's not I. It's not I. When I meet a group of men, a group of them, they fall silent. When I go when I go to weigh the flour, they fall silent. And even at night in the fields, when I wake, it seems to me the trees fall silent too. You know, he's wicked here, saying that everybody is talking about you. Everybody knows what you're doing. So when I come, everybody is quiet and they kept silent because they don't want me to know. Yerma, I don't know the source of those evil winds that sour the wheat, but look for yourself and see if the wheat is good. As if to say, well, don't blame me. Look at yourself and see. It's you to blame, not me. Juan, nor do I know what a woman seeks. Nor do I know what a woman seeks leaving her house at all hours. Yerma again starting towards him and embracing her husband. I'm searching for you. I'm searching for you. It is you I search for night and day without finding a place to draw breath. It's your blood, your help I want. Get away from me. Don't love me. Away. See how I am abandoned. See how I am abandoned, as if the moon were searching, for herself in the sky. Look at me. She gazes at him. Juan, he looks at her and pulls her back brusquely. Let me be. Juan. Dolores falls to the floor. Yerma loudly. I went out searching for flowers and run up against the wall. Hey, it is the wall I'll break my head against. Juan, be quiet, come on. Dolores, my God. Yerma moaning. Cursed be my father who gave me the blood and fathered a husband's sons. Cursed be that blood that searches in me for them, beating against the walls. Juan, I told you, be quiet. Someone is coming. Speak more softly. I don't care. Let my voice at least be free. Now that I am falling into the darkest pit, she rises. Let this beautiful thing at last, let this beautiful thing at least emerge from my body and meet the air. Dolores, they are coming this way. Silence. Yes, yes, silence. Don't fret. And Juan, come quickly. That's right. Of course, you know, the way he, again, as I said, he warned her and so on. And Yerma, again, here in a really nice way, said, it's one thing to yearn in your mind, another thing for the body. Cursed body, not to respond. It's fate, I won't raise my arms against the waves. That's right. Let my mouth be dumb. And of course, here in the last act, really, we have more dramatic turns. And as you can see here, the same thing. And again, you can see the singing again from Yerma in the same way, really. Here they went to this shrine, as you can see, the shrine. The envious of a hermitage high in the mountains, downstage are the wheels of a cart and some canvas forming a rustic tent, where we see Yerma, women enter with offerings for the shrine. They are barefoot. The cheerful old woman of the first act is on stage, singing while the curtain is raised. When you were single, I never could see you, but now you are married, we will meet. When you were single, I never could see you. I will strip you bare now, wife and wanderer, when midnight sounds through the air. You know, I'm saying here that this is the place, this is the last act, when Yerma really came to this shrine, which is to her, it's like, as I said, this totem thing, which is like this talisman or this magic or this sorcery. And for some people, this is not good. But really, she feels that she had to do this because she wants this baby. And her husband really here became mad when he found out. So here we can see more and more of this chorus here. I would like to read this. Lord, who makes the roses flower, don't leave mine to wither. And here, of course, you can see how people are praying this ritual thing, praying for this shrine to, here, of course, the symbol for people who beg to get something done for them. The heavens have their gardens of happiness in flower, glows the rose of wonder between briar and briar. A ray of dawn appears, an angel watches over with his wings of thunder, with his eyes that suffer. All about the leaves there runs a milk-white river, moistening the faces of the stars that quiver. Lord, may your rose bloom in my barren flesh. You know, these people are singing and begging God to have children and asking this. And of course, you know, poor Yerma came to do the same with them. And here, of course, we see Yerma, you know, notice here, listen to the penitent in her sacred wandering. Look, let your rose bloom in my flesh through though 1,000 thorns. And again, you can see here more and more of this. Really, it's lovely. And here you have more like more strange things about masks. Here we have masked woman, you know, woman's mask. and here males mask and so on. As you can see here, masks are used in this final stage here, which is really funny, but of course they all reveal something for Yerma. You know, here we have one instant. Remember when this old woman told Yerma, if your husband can't give you a child, why don't you run away and you can find your own way of finding a child? Meaning, you know, she wants her to behave badly. And here, for example, notice, what can no longer be silenced? What shouts itself from the doors, for the rooftops? The fault is your husband's. Do you hear? Let him cut off my hands if it is not. Neither his father nor his grandfather conducted themselves like men who breed well. For them I have a child. Heaven and earth had to be joined. They are just bowls of spit, but your family are not. You know, she's saying to her, you know, his family, he and his family, you know, they don't like children. And here, of course, as I said, she told her literally, she told her that you can come to me and I can give you my son. Notice, she said, my son is waiting for me behind the chapel. My house needs a baby, needs a woman, mate with him, and the three of us can live together. My son is strong, like me. If you enter my household, there will be the smell of babies again. The ashes of your coverlet will turn to bread and salt for your children. Come, take no notice of others. And as for your husband, in my house, there are strong hearts and weapons to prevent him even crossing the street. So here this old woman asking her and telling her to run away with her and make her a wife to her son. Oh, come on. I mean, this can't be. She's a married woman. How can you say this to her? And of course, Yerma was shocked. She said, shush, 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 shush. It's not like that. I can't take another. I can't go seeking men out. Do you think I could know another man? Where would my honor be then? Water can't run uphill. Water can't run uphill, or the full moon rise at noon. No, I will keep to the path I am on. Did you really think I could yield to another man? That I could go and beg for what is mine like a slave? Understand me, so you never say it to me again. I am not seeking any other. Yeah. Well done, Yerma. Yeah, of course. And Yerma said, barren, barren, yes, I know that, barren, but don't need to hurl it in my face. Don't come and pressure yourself as children do with the suffering of some small creature. Ever since I married, I have been avoiding that word, and this is the first time I've heard it said to my face. The first time I recognize that it is true. And all of a sudden, our friend the Juan appeared, and it was a terrible shock. And as I said here, when they started fighting, of course, and here notice, Juan was really mad. Notice, violently, go on, go on. Juan, for things that don't matter, do you hear, that have no importance to me. That's what I had to say to you. What matters to me is what I can hold in my hands, what I can see with my eyes. Yerma, rising to her knees desperately. That's it. That's it. That's what I wanted to hear from you, from your mouth. Truth is not felt when it is inside oneself, but how vast it is, how loud it cries when it emerges and raises its arms. It doesn't matter. Now I've heard you. Juan approaching her. Think that it had to be so. Listen to me. He embraces her to help her rise. Many women should be happy to live your life. Life is sweeter without children. I am happy without them. I am not. It's not your fault. What did you seek in me then? Yourself. Excitedly. That's it. You wanted a home. You wanted tranquility. You wanted a woman, but nothing more. Is that true? It is true, as everyone else does. And the rest, your son, didn't you hear? It doesn't matter. Don't ask me again. Do I have to shout it in your ear so you can understand and live peacefully for once? And you never thought about it even when you could see I wanted one. Never. And I am not to help, and I am not to hope for one. No. Nor you, nor I, likewise. Resign yourself. Barren, but living peacefully, both of us in gentleness and friendship. Embrace me. He embraces her. What do you want? I want you. In the moonlight, you are beautiful. You want me as if you were wanting a pigeon to eat. Kiss me like this. That never, never. Yerma gives a cry and grasps her husband by the throat. He falls backward. She chokes him until he's dead. The choir of pilgrims starts up, barren, barren, but I am certain at last. Now I know for certain, and alone. She rises, people begin to gather. I will sleep without waking, with a start to see if my blood announces new blood, with a body barren forever. What do you want? Don't come near me, because I have murdered my child. I have killed my own son. Well, that's it. What do you think? Okay, so I will stop recording.